Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Stop it right now. But before I start to really put some heat on these content creators and some of these boxing fans, like, subscribe, and consider donating to the channel. Now, look, let's jump into this Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis thing. First of all, Ryan Garcia is not scared of Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia is not scared of anybody. Neither is Tank, neither is Devin Haney or anyone else. So stop with that. You can't sit here and watch a press conference and then conclude definitively that a fighter is scared of the other one. Get out of here, man. So let's understand something when it comes to Ryan Garcia. He wanted to fight Tank. He's been calling out Tank for the last 4 years, right? Let's make sure we get that clear. He wants the Tank fight. He finally has a Tank fight. But let's be honest too. Oscar De La Hoya said no. Ryan Garcia is not ready for Tank. So a few years ago, Oscar De La Hoya did not want Ryan Garcia to fight Tank. But fast forward to where we are now. Let me make this clear. I truly believe that if Oscar De La Hoya, I'm not even going to consider Bernard Hopkins. I don't know what Bernard Hopkins' role is in anything, but I'll just stick with De La Hoya. If De La Hoya didn't want Ryan Garcia to fight Tank, Ryan Garcia wouldn't be fighting Tank. Simple. Okay? It's like Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia, man, he out here floating around doing nothing. And he's somebody who needs to step up and fight somebody. But this is what I think the true concern is. If there was anything that transpired that would give the, I would say, illusion or impression, right, that Ryan Garcia's team didn't want him to fight Tank, it's not because they were afraid he would lose. Even though they seemed to praise Tank a little bit more than they praised Ryan Garcia during that press conference. I don't know if y'all caught that, right? What I think it is they feel like Ryan Garcia is being put in a position where more than likely there's more of a chance of him losing than winning. Okay, you look at the fact that he has to come down, what are they fighting at, 136, something like that? Then there's a rehydration clause. So first he has to kill himself to get back down a pound over a weight that he doesn't like making. He has been damn near impossible for him to make, and that's why he moved up to 140. So he got to come down to, I think, 136, which is like suicide for him. And then there's a rehydration clause, the second thing. Now, I don't know what the rehydration clause is. I don't know if it's 10 pounds or whatever, but that's not really, it's not really helping Ryan Garcia in the fight. So that's the second thing. The third thing is Ryan Garcia being the B-side. I know Oscar De La Hoya, they really feel that Ryan Garcia, because of his social media presence and also the fact that he's a great fighter and he's undefeated, and he deserves to make good money. They really feel he should be the A side, but we all know that's not going to happen. Tank Davis has proven that he can sell out arenas, that he can do good numbers, decent pay-per-view, at least for what we want to consider decent in this era, pay-per-view wise. So with that being said, I think those are some of the stipulations and some of the reasons why Oscar De La Hoya probably said, look, Ryan, you sure you want to go into this? Because if you want to make the fight happen, you basically are at a disadvantage, and you're almost going to have to perform a miracle in that ring to get a win, because they're really just they're stacking all the odds against you. And Ryan Garcia did what you want to see in a young champion. He said, you know what, you either find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So they found a way to win as far as the contract to make sure that everything favors them. And they're thinking, as a result, I'm going to find a way to lose. He's like, but I'm going to find a way to win within myself, to find the strength to get beyond those handicaps that they put in front of me. And then when we get in the ring on that night, I'm going to rise to the occasion, because I've been doing this since I've been 7 years old. I believe in myself. And you know what? They talk about Tank's power, his IQ, his ability to box. Well, I can do it too. And this is my opportunity to showcase my skill set to showcase this 20 plus years of boxing that I've been doing, and they're going to see something. I'm going to keep this fight in the middle of the ring. Tank Davis can't do anything when he's against fighters and they're in the middle of the ring. It's when Tank gets fighters close to the ropes. You look at his last 3 fights, he gets you close to the ropes. That's where Tank Davis gets fighters in trouble. But in the middle of the ring, with someone who's taller, rangier, has an educated jab, and can just, move in circles and just keep it in the middle of the ring, that Tank's opponents have had the advantage. Hector Garcia had the advantage, was getting the upper hand in most of those exchanges. But the fight starts to change when Tank starts to land. And that's what we've seen in all the fights. You look at what Tank fought Leo Santa Cruz. He was down on the scorecards. Santa Cruz was having his way for the most part. But then Tank started to close the gap. And one thing about Tank is he'll take shots to get to you. Tank's tough. They even said that Tank has a high tolerance for pain. Not so sure that's a good thing, but in boxing, it may be something that's necessary, especially going to a fight with Ryan Garcia, who's arguably the fastest fighter Tank has fought. And maybe arguably the biggest puncher Tank has fought. When you have speed, first we always, we've always heard the saying, speed kills. But speed with power, that is a problem for anyone. But Tank Davis has IQ, he has patience, he has speed, and he has power. And he can close the distance really fast and explode. But at the end of the day, if Tank Davis really wants to be champion for being the better man, if he was to beat Ryan Garcia, okay? If he really wants to be champion, he really wants people to come out here and say great things about him, in my opinion, he shouldn't have had a rehydration clause. If you believe that strongly, that you can win the fight, if you're out here supposedly knocking out heavyweights, right? That's what they said in sparring. He knocks out heavyweights. If Tank is knocking out light heavyweights, cruiserweights, super middleweights, right? So then why sit there and put a rehydration clause on Ryan Garcia? Why? Because you're the A side and you can do it? And I get it. It's all about giving yourself an advantage. I understand. This is boxing. It's a sport. It's a business. These guys want to have an upper hand. But all I'm going to say is, when the dust settles, if Tank Davis ends up being victorious, I think it'll be more like, he won, but he was supposed to. It's like Canelo did Chavez Jr. It's like what Floyd did to Canelo. It is what it is. When you're the cash cow, when you're the A side, you can call the shots. So again, if Tank wins, it's kind of like, he was supposed to win. But if Ryan Garcia wins, it's going to be all over ESPN, CNN. It's going to be all over, man. The Sun, the Daily Bag, all the newspaper outlets everywhere. It's going to be all over the news, international. It's going to be an international headline. Because Ryan Garcia rose from the ashes like the phoenix to overcome the odds and all those stipulations in the contract and the handicaps that were put on him for him to emerge victorious. And let me tell you, I personally think Ryan Garcia is on a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. I'm just being honest with you. But I have a feeling that he's going to put up a much better showing than what people think. And the only thing I'll say this, right? When I hear a fighter who doesn't necessarily box, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, when Ryan Garcia is talking about how he can box and he can do this and that, you know what? If he's going to get in there and get up on his toes like De La Hoya and box and move and keep the fight in the center of the ring and rattle off those fast combinations and frustrate Davis and eventually catch him with the big cruise missile, right? Then cool. But I've never seen Ryan Garcia do that. But it could be a positive. But could be a negative too. If you come now and your greatest asset has been, what's benefited you the most is holding your ground and looking to let that left hook go, and now you throw away what for the most part is your winning recipe, right? If you're going to come now and change up the ingredients to your winning recipe, well then I think there's a good chance that things may not, the end result may not be what you're accustomed to getting, because you've changed up the ingredients, still hoping to get the same taste, the same flavor. That's not how it always works out. And I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with trying something. You know, it's like if you're at home cooking. I make banana bread. The bananas start to get a little bit black. You don't throw them away. That means they're sweet. They're ripe. Get your little flour, a little nutmeg, a little this and that. Boom, make you a little banana bread. You know, throw some walnuts and stuff in there. Boom. Everybody enjoys. But if I want to come and change up the ingredients, I'm not going to serve that to my neighbor. Keep that in-house. Hey, boys, let my kids try it. Nah, Dad, this tastes like a shit sandwich. Okay, cool. It's in-house. And that's what I think with Ryan Garcia. You want to change up the ingredients? Cool. Try it in training camp. Or try it against a C-level opponent. Don't come now and try that against, like I said, against your neighbor. No, don't take that out to the public. You can't come out here with Tank Davis and decide that you're going to try this new recipe in the ring with Tank. That's suicide. But that being said, I don't care what anybody says. I don't think Ryan Garcia is scared. I don't think his team is scared. I just think his team looked at the contracts and just how Ryan Garcia is just at a disadvantage. It's just like Devin Haney going over to Australia. You know, if you're going to say Ryan Garcia is scared, his team didn't want to fight, and makes him scared, then you should say Devin Haney's scared. That's all I'm saying. Nobody wanted him to go over there and take that fight against Kambosos. But Devin Haney wasn't scared. It's because of the contract. It's because of what they were doing to him. He was getting screwed. But he believed in himself. Ryan Garcia believes in himself. So it is what it is. Give him credit. Quit trying to crap on that man's name. Ryan Garcia is not afraid of no damn Tank Davis. Now, if you ask me who I think is going to win, I think because Tank has patience, I think Tank wins. But I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. And at least I'm glad it's more these YouTube content creators talking stupid. But Tank Davis isn't. Tank Davis said he knows it's a hard fight. He knows Ryan Garcia can fight. He talk a little trash, but he knows. His team knows. And it's going to be very interesting. Let me tell you what. No matter what you think about Ryan Garcia, he's cartoonish, whatever you think. If you're truly a boxing fan, you know there's two things that make a difference in a fight in boxing. Three things, right? First is speed. Speed is a game changer. Second is power. Power is a game changer. The third thing is stamina. When you have stamina, speed, and power, hard to beat you. Well, fourth thing would be a chin. And if you have a chin, when you look at Ryan Garcia, he has speed, power, stamina. Chin is questionable. You look at Tank Davis, speed, power, stamina, and he has a good chin. So all I'm saying is Ryan Garcia has enough to make the fight interesting if he can avoid those shots from Tank. Southpaw versus an orthodox fighter. Tank Davis can be explosive with the straight left. If he touches Ryan Garcia, I think Ryan Garcia can get hurt and get hurt very badly because I think his chin is questionable. But if Garcia catches Tank, because Tank's human, and Ryan Garcia hits like a mule, if he catches him coming in, making a mistake, Ryan Garcia's hands are so fast. If he catches Tank, he can hurt him. But I think there's more of a chance of Tank catching him. That's just my opinion. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Ryan Garcia is not scared. His team did want to fight. It's just the stipulations, man, that got their attention. And that's what took so long. And you're supposed to take your time when you have rehydration clauses and everything else and the rematch and having to go into the rematch. Even if you win the first fight and still be the B-side. You know, it is what it is. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Leave your comments below. I'm in the breeze.